Oh, come, all he faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come, all he faithful to Bethlehem. You like that song, Charlie?
I do. I
You
jam
do
out.
like that? I
I
like that
jam
song.
out to it all the time.
I
Yeah.
do too. That's a good song to jam out to. And you're just like mowing the yard. You're like, I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna listen to "Oh Come All You Faithful."
Exactly right.
Yeah. Do you have Christmas music playing yet, Charlie? Is there any Christmas music in the house?
No,
No Christmas music yet?
no,
You a Jew?
no. Do I
Not a
look
Jew?
good?
Not a Jew?
No.
Not
It's
that there's anything wrong with
I,
that. I'm
I've
not saying
I've
there's
been
anything wrong with that. Just
I've
asking.
been out of town and kind of busy and just haven't gotten around to the Christmas thing yet.
Yeah, I mean, you've been out of town. Where you got? I didn't know you were out of town. Where'd you go?
I went out of town this weekend. Actually, went to Washington D.C.
Washington. That is the nation's capital. What were you doing? Were you sightseeing? Is there anything in particular you're doing? And
I
Washington.
had planned a little sightseeing that didn't work out, but I was fighting to save vapors' rights. So,
Wow, fighting to save vapors' rights. That is something that is very, very interesting. Welcome to your Vape at 5 today. I am BlackCat. With me is Mr. Charlie. Charlie, we're going to talk a little bit today about an event that happened this weekend that I am happy to say I am very, very proud and honored to be a part of this community after what happened on Saturday. A group of just normal, regular, everyday people put together something that ended up being extremely special, and I think influenced the most powerful people pretty much in the world, certainly in the United States, but in the world, as it were. Uh, we're going to talk about the DC Vape Rally. It happened Saturday between 12 and 4. They moved it, I believe. They moved it to 1 o'clock.
yes, yeah, Saturday morning. I guess around 10:30 maybe. They sent out an announcement that the rally was going to be moved from 12 until 1 due to the president's helicopter flight. And where we were is literally like part of the White House's front lawn. So
Wow.
they have to clear it out when the president is leaving, or basically it's at the president's disposal. They told the UVA when they were preparing for the rally that if the president decides to go out for a jog or stroll through the park, they Secret Service will clear it immediately.
Wow.
And so that's what happened. He had to fly out to the Alabama LSU football game.
Yeah, that's right. Which
So
LSU won.
we basically met up kind of across the street in a big park area, right below the Washington Monument.
Wow, that's where it all started, and then you guys moved into Eclipse Park, which
Yeah.
it's directly across from the White House.
Yep.
Wow, so it could be like basically you could look out the front, I don't know, area of the White House and see you guys all out there
Yep. Let
holding
me
the
see
rally.
if I have a picture I'll show real quick that I snapped.
Well, I see we have quite a few people watching, and a lot of them look like they were at the rally, and
So
that
this
is
was
absolutely fantastic.
that was a photo that I took standing at the rally. Basically, I just kind of turned around backwards, and you can see the White House back there.
Wow. And that's the grass they were worried about protecting, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
That doesn't look like that grass is doing so hot.
yeah, it's not, but it was in at least as good of a shape, or maybe better, when we left, as it was when we got there.
That's fantastic.
The vapors were more responsible than I ever could have imagined. So,
Was there any kind? Okay, so let's talk. We're going to go through for everybody wondering here. Now, if you have questions for Charlie, please just drop them in the chat, and I will read them off. I'm just going to kind of monitor, I don't know, do an interview, I guess, of sorts of what happened. But we're gonna talk about the entire rally, and what all happened. But we'll just start with kind of the basics. So, how many people roughly do you think participated in this rally?
Somewhere around 4,000.
About it, and it looked. Was it impressive to look at? If you were an onlooker, if you walked by, Would you be
It
like, that's a
was.
lot of fucking people?
It
Like,
was.
because it depends on like the area. Like sometimes 4,000 people spread out over, a
Right.
mile. It doesn't
And
look like that many,
we
right?
were in an area that's like 51 acres or something. The ellipse is. It's huge. It looks small on the map, but it's an
Wow,
enormous
that is
area.
huge.
So that was one of my concerns. Was like, even if 10,000 people show up, it's going to look tiny. But no, due to scale, when you're standing there and you see a few thousand people, you notice it's a few thousand people.
Wow, awesome. How now the event it started at 1 o'clock because of the president's travel. And did it last until 5 o'clock?
Yes, it
Was it
lasted till right around 5.
was it
Um,
speaker after speaker?
yep, each one of them took about 5 minutes.
Wow.
And the cool thing was, because of his flight, the president actually had to fly out. We were all in that area across the street. So the president had to fly out on the helicopter and fly over us, which we knew was coming because Marine One had flown over us to land at the White House. So as the president got in the helicopter and flew over, we were all prepared, standing in the field with "We Vape, We Vote" signs, holding them up so that the president could look down and see him from the helicopter.
Now there was a tweet that was sent by the president around that time. Did you see the tweet?
I did.
Yeah.
It said presidential harassment. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that?
I don't think that had anything to do with this.
I would hope not.
I wish it did. I would love to know that we affected him like that, but
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I think that was related to impeachment stuff and probably just a coincidence, if we're being honest.
I hope so, because I wouldn't think he would see it as harassment. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
Yeah, and here's
that sensitive about it.
Here's a cool shot. This was Marine One flying over, headed to pick up the president.
Wow.
So basically, he landed in the front lawn of the White House, and then when he flew back right over us, we were all prepared.
That is wow. That is really, really neat, man. That he flew over everybody. I would think that obviously he was looking out and seeing what was going on. You know what I mean?
Even if he wasn't, and he was, I don't know, getting his laptop ready for the flight or watching his phone, whatever. Marine One flew over us beforehand, so they had to have mentioned something like, we flew over and there's a few thousand people down on the lawn all holding signs up.
Yeah, holding signs up, right? One thing I do want to mention, Gregory Brown donated $5. Thank you, Gregory. Today is Veterans Day in the United
For
States.
sure.
And just give my sincerest thank you to anyone who served in the military. It's something that you can't measure with just a thank you, but thank you so much for your service and for protecting our country and allowing us to rally peacefully and giving us that right and all the other rights that we enjoy as Americans. So thank you very much.
Yeah, truly, thanks to all of you. And that was something that was really cool that took place, especially in the field across the street, because we were just kind of waiting, all talking amongst each other. And there was so many veterans and active military people who were saying, I've gone to war to fight for freedoms like this, but we shouldn't have to protest here against our own country, kind of a thing. But that's the reason we're going overseas, is to fight against government tyranny. And I think from a military person, to me, those that have gone over into combat and come back, for someone to say you don't have the right to make an adult decision and vape just boggles my mind.
Yeah, it's like those guys should get like 5 votes. You know what I mean? It's like you've earned more votes than me. Like I concede that. Like somebody's like, yeah, I've been in action. It's like, okay, yeah, you should get more votes than me. Absolutely, that's not even a question to me. And right, like taking away their rights. $2 from Gregory said, only this vapor community supports veterans justly. That is very kind of you to say. And the idea of this of a nanny state is kind of the jargon, the term that we need, like this nanny state to keep us from drinking 50-ounce sodas or to keep us from eating too many cheeseburgers or vaping or something like that. That's not the American way. No. The American way is that you decide what you want to do, and if you live with the consequences of that. for example.
It's not like we're a healthier nation because of all these regulations they've put in place the last 20 or 30 years compared to the way it was 100 years ago when people did their own thing.
We are a nation built on comfort.
Right. That's
we
right.
We really are. If you go to other countries, it's, a lot of them are in shapes. It's just not as comfortable to live there as it is here. It's a very comfortable place to live. You don't have to, you can drive anywhere you want to go. There's all kinds of food that you can get. Anyway, that's kind of getting away from the purpose of this show, but that's ultimately what it is. So they had, can you give us an idea who were some of the speakers? What were some of the messages? Was there a speaker that you enjoyed more so than anybody else? Was there anyone that got a huge reaction from the crowd?
It would be hard for anyone that was there to pick out a speaker and say that was my favorite. There was a bunch of great speakers. I'll call off some of them. A couple of them, I don't remember their names, but I actually made notes on them to go back and find them. Probably one of the most touching was an ICU nurse who had been through the experience of having doctors in her hospital diagnose someone with a vaping illness who was using THC carts, but the doctors refused to write anything besides this is caused by e-cigarettes in their medical chart.
Wow.
And so she told about that experience and pulling them to the side and educating them and the changes that she had seen just in her hospital and how bad it really was in the medical system with people not wanting to dig any further than what the CDC said.
So the guidance was from the CDC as to how to fill out the information to be submitted?
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was when the CDC says this is what's causing it. Doctors really don't look any further. Just like the rest of the world, they kind of take that and accept it as accurate. And when they heard that it was vaping causing this illness and had an example of it, to them, it was standard operations. This is caused from vaping e-cigarettes.
Wow.
And but she had talked to the patient where the doctors got involved in things once they stabilized him. So she had asked way more questions than a doctor typically would because vaping was something she was passionate about. So she did more investigations than they typically do and kind of got to the bottom of it. And luckily the doctors listened to her and she educated several based on this one case. But she was a really powerful speaker. Mark Anton started out from SFATA after Sherwin did the intro. Was
Sherwin emceeing the thing, or how did that work?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's nice.
An amazing guy sang the national anthem.
Oh, that's cool.
Crazy good vocals.
Wow.
And then they had that ice.
Was it Mark Fagan, was it? I heard Mark sing. Was it not Mark Fagan
Mike Mike did a very good job and kept Mark from talking most of the rally, so it was perfect. Mark just stood there holding the camera. And so they had the ICU nurse, Mark Anton, the creator and director of SFATA.
And SFATA is what is their, I'm not really sure what it even, I know the name, but what exactly is it?
SFATA, I think, stands for Smoke Free. I'll have to look it up. SFATA is one of the original state advocacy organizations.
Okay.
I believe they started in California and then did other chapters. Okay. And now they work together with the VTA. That was what was cool. All these advocacy organizations came together for this rally and with the UVA. So after the ICU nurse spoke and Mark Anton, Amanda Wheeler, who's an amazing advocate, basically she started advocating out of necessity. Her and her husband own some vapor shops, and she's president of one state group and I think vice president or something of another state group because they have shops in multiple states.
Wow.
She spoke about being a mother and talked about her children and things and how vaping affected their lives. And then they had a lady who basically spoke as a grandmother, as someone who raised her kids as a smoker. And had her kids have to deal with the embarrassment of smelling like a smoker's house, and friends coming over and going home and their parents complaining about how they smelled.
Mm-hmm.
And after she stopped smoking and started vaping, now her grandparents enjoy a smoke. Her grandkids enjoy a smoke-free house.
Wow, that's so important too. Obviously, with secondhand smoke, third-hand smoke, when it
Yeah.
gets onto clothes and things of that nature, they're finding now is also hazardous.
So there was just several women that gave amazing testimony like that, and then Greg Connolly spoke, of course, and Matt Cully, Suck My Mod, spoke and gave his story. Let's see who else.
Matt, as he spoke on he was on our show,
Yep, that's
and
correct.
he had cancer.
Yep, that's exactly right. So he talked about the cancer that he had and gave his story a little bit. And let's see who else was between him and Greg Connolly. Greg Connolly spoke. Oh, Paul Blair, who you
Paul
probably
Blair.
know from Twitter.
Sure. Yeah.
Paul Blair spoke, gave amazing testimony. And then Tristan from the Legion.
I heard his.
In the middle. And Matthew Elliott, I think, finished it out.
Closed it. Matt closed it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been. He's good at motivating and getting people. So is Tristan. I heard Tristan. And his was like very motivating, and like he's such a Tristan is such a good speaker, like such a bright guy. Yeah. It's real. I really enjoy listening to him. Like I take a lot away from what he says.
And I just think it's really cool the way that Tristan cleans up, and to see him go from being Tristan, as the Legion commander, and see him always as the Legion commander, and then see him wearing such a nice, custom fit suit. It was awesome to see. Yeah. Frank just reminded me, Alex Clark from CASA was one of the early speakers. He did a great job.
It's like you see Tristan all dressed up, and I picture him with an earbud in, listening to Iron Maiden while he's like walking. It's like he's still like, I'm still that guy, even though I have time.
Right. So I met Frank early on, actually, before we went into the park while we were waiting on the president's helicopter to fly over. I saw Frank.
Yeah, Frank was there. Daytime Frank was there.
And I met Focus Evo.
Focus Evo was there. Yeah, if you were there in the chat, if you were here and you were there, put up an X1 in chat just to see. I don't know if we have how many people we have. I know a few from the Patreon we're all talking about going and talking about leaving and heading out there. And it just blows me away that so many people, when has there been another issue that parallels this with so many passionate people about it, that feel about it. And I think it's not only surprising to people who are in the community, but I think it's very surprising to the antis how passionate we are and how we won't stop.
Right. And I talked to one member of our community. He was flying out from the West Coast, and plane tickets from the West Coast to DC were really expensive. And it just wasn't something he could afford and make a reality. And someone contacted him like Thursday, I think, and said, "Hey, you're flying out tomorrow, right?" And he said, "No, I'm not going to be able to." And they said, "Well, everything's taken care of. Here's your plane ticket, and here's where you're going to stay," kind of a thing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, someone just covered it, and he was there. And it was just really cool stories like that. I mean, me and Jennifer were there because Greg Connolly gave me a companion ticket coupon he had with Delta. So I got my plane tickets, buy one, get one free.
Wow.
So there was just tons of stories of people helping each other and sharing hotel rooms.
Jeff Lawson was there. Daytime Frank, Focus Evo. Daytime, Grim Green. I saw Grim Green broadcasting live. He had a really good shot. He was like on the side. Stan, Tenacious TX Vape was there. Johnny Drips was there.
Yep.
Of course, ST.
I think Grim Green actually, he might have pushed his honeymoon back a little bit. Him and Nichols were going on their honeymoon, and I believe originally he wasn't going to be able to be there, but they moved things around, so he went there and pushed his honeymoon back, I guess.
How cool is that? Like, I don't know. It was his anniversary, I thought.
Is it his anniversary?
Yeah, it was his 1 year anniversary. I think he made a post on Twitter about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew they were going somewhere.
Yeah. Mark was there. St. Mike, Stan, Matt was there.
Tony, that was
Tony
me
was there.
wearing the local vape sweatshirt. Unfortunately, we had a little mix-up with my shirts. I had them shipped to a friend of mine that forgot them at home, so I didn't have my rally shirt on, but I was wearing a local vape hoodie.
Ah, no. How was the weather? Was it cold? Looked like it was pretty
It was
chilly.
cold. The wind was blowing a lot there. It actually felt, it was like 37, I think. It was 37 when we flew it. It was pretty close to that the morning we left for the rally, but man, it felt colder than that with that wind blowing,
I'll bet.
especially after the first couple of hours.
M Turk Dash Vapes Phenom was there.
Yep.
Yeah, Dash Vapes is from Canada. He showed up. M Turk, I know M Turk and Chloe were both there. I
Dash
watched them there.
Vapes. Dash Vapes posted today. It was his first trip to the U.S.
Hmm.
and he mentioned something like, "Thanks for everyone there for making my first trip to the U.S. wonderful," or something to that effect.
Wow. AJ Holland and Irby were both there. Yep. Regulatory Watch was there. Jay Hayes was there.
Yeah,
And Jay Hayes and yeah.
there.
Tony B was there.
Yeah,
No,
and
no Rip.
I guess
No Rip Trippers though, I don't think.
no, not that I know of. Wayne was there. Kent was there. Kent posted a hilarious post. I can't remember what it was now. But Brent from Regulator Watch was there, just freaking like working the camera and everything. I just put a post up on Facebook, but he was working his butt off for us, like always.
Dude, he's like one of my
We
favorite
really need
people
to
on
support
earth.
that guy.
Yeah. He's like one of my favorite people. If you do not subscribe or watch Regulatory Watch, make sure you start because it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is everything going on with this industry.
Yeah.
The guy is amazing.
Foolish was there. That's right.
Foolish
Frank.
was there?
Yeah.
I saw a picture of Foolish. He's a lot taller than I thought he was.
Yeah.
He looks like he's like, I didn't realize he was that tall.
Well, based on camera placement, sometimes people look short and then on YouTube, and then you see them in real life and they're taller. But
Yeah.
Foolish is probably, I guess, around my height, maybe a little bit taller.
Oh, okay. He looked
gigantic.
Maybe it was the person he's standing next to. He looked giant. I was like, Jesus, he's like 6'5".
He did do an interview with the really short Asian lady. Maybe that.
That might have been what I saw in
That was
the picture. Yeah, that may have been because it made him look, obviously, you're looking at comparison. Made him look super tall. Yeah, that was great to see him there. But yeah, man, Rip Trippers. I think Rip Trippers was in a disguise. In a beard and a flannel. I thought Foolish lived in Detroit.
No, he lives in DC.
Oh, okay. So that made sense for him to head down there. Absolutely. Well, that's cool. That's convenient, man, to live there, you know?
I will say, though, traffic in DC is retarded.
Yes.
And even people who live in the area, they might live 10 or 15 miles away, but, man, they still had a trek to make to get down there and freaking park and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I was talking to you about you flew into Baltimore, right?
No, I flew into Reagan.
Okay. So
D-Bone flew into Baltimore.
How long did it take him to get from Baltimore over to DC, do you say? A couple hours.
About an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
It's literally, it's like 20 miles. And it takes forever. It's the worst. I know that Saturday probably traffic wasn't as bad, but trying to go there like on a work day, oh my God.
Yeah. His wasn't as bad because he came in Friday night at 8 o'clock. So
okay, so he missed all.
It was 8 to 9:30 was their trip.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, I saw D-Bone there, and Chris was there.
Yep.
Yeah, just it was fucking amazing, man, seeing the people that took the time out of their day, out of their lives, and spent all that money to go there and support this cause. It
really is. And there's a number of us that actually had trips planned next week for months, and it was really tight for us because we had that trip planned and all of our money budgeted away. So some of those people, a lot of people sacrificed a lot to make it there in a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's the thing is this was all put together. The beginning of last month is when it started. Really?
Yeah, it came together. It was announced in Raleigh. I don't remember when the Raleigh vape show was, but it was announced there. But they had to get a permit and get a date and all that. And so we didn't find out, I'm guessing, the beginning of October was when they actually got the date approved with the permit and announced it.
I think that it was I think they announced that they were going to do it around the time that Como came out and banned it in New York. I think that was around the time it all started. I want to say, or maybe when President Trump said we don't like vapes, it's like, oh God, let's get to the hour, we got to do something. Yeah.
You went robot for a second. Hold on.
I know it said my connection's unstable. I don't know
good now.
That's about.
That's good now.
So were there any anti-groups there?
Not that I saw or dealt with. We were kind of on the lookout, especially before. Once we got into the rally, I did a couple walks around, but I was in the front up near the stage. And I really wanted to pay attention to the speakers. So most of my photographs and things that I took were before, and the talking that I did with people was either before or after.
Yeah.
Because we had so many good speakers that I wanted to really focus on and pay attention to.
Yeah, I think that the antis have taken. So if you have not seen, President Trump said today in a tweet, and I'll read it. I actually put it on the tile there for the show, but his tweet stated, let me grab it here, and this is after the rally, so obviously somebody heard us. He said, we'll be meeting with representatives of the vaping industry together with medical professionals and individual state representatives to come up with an acceptable solution. He said acceptable. That gives me a lot of hope. Because that means that he's basically, he understands that it's not acceptable. The original solution to ban all flavors is not acceptable. Saying an acceptable solution to the vaping and e-cigarette dilemma, he called it, which he didn't call it an epidemic, which I appreciate that. Children's health and safety together with jobs will be the focus, giving all of them equal amount of footing, which is really, really good. I wish he would have said something about smokers' health as well, but hey, I thought the tweet was very, very good. And so obviously the president heard us and is going to at least sit down at the table with us to give us a shot at, I don't know, telling him what the facts and everything are without just having, the guys from the HHS and CDC just in his ear telling him what they're...
Right. The big movement right now, because he said he's going to meet with professionals from the industry or industry representatives. Yeah. So we've been lighting up Twitter today to make sure that he meets with actual representatives of the whole industry, not just one guy from Juul or one guy from Altria or whatever the case is. We want real representation of the real vaping industry and the mom and pop shops. And we don't just want to not have a flavor ban. We want a legitimate pathway to market for these smaller businesses that want to get PMTA approval.
Right, without it costing hundreds of thousands of dollars, which these shops can't afford. I mean, with the scare that has already happened, the intention obviously was to drive the small business out of business. Mike Bloomberg made a $150 million bet that he could drive this industry out of business so that he could come in and capitalize on it. And that's what scares me. That money is still out there. So the antis haven't stopped. Their money is still there. They're not done. They're not done spewing their lies and misinformation. That's going to continue. And, $150 million goes a long way. How far that goes, I don't know. But, they're going to continue. So the fight is not over. Getting a seat at the table and things, that is the first step. I think that ultimately the health crisis that we had that was so just absolutely damning to this industry and to us has backfired in a way, because now that the truth is starting to come out, I think a lot of people are starting to be a little bit more skeptical of what they hear at first glance. And of course, there's people who are too fucking stupid to even listen to it. But I think rational people are starting to be, maybe those who were skeptical at first are starting, that skepticism is even greater now. And they're starting to listen a little bit more to what could possibly be a good thing for the health.
Something encouraging that I saw it happen twice. One of them, there was more dialogue on. People were posting their rally photos on Facebook, and they had a friend that would pop in, or someone that was on their friends list would pop in and say, why would you have a rally to support vaping? It's killing people. And
Who said that?
It happened twice. Just random people posted their pictures from the rally and talked about it being a good rally. And people on their friends list that didn't know about vaping would say, why do you support vaping? It's killing people.
Right.
And with one of the thread, it was very encouraging, because after that response, someone asked, where'd you get your facts, or what are you talking about? And she said, well, I want to be educated, but these are the sources that I've read that says vaping's bad. And then there was a whole conversation where she actually got good information, and what she does with it is on her. But that happened twice. So people are starting to see it and are willing to listen when you present them with logical facts and evidence.
I think so. Michael Bloomberg, and this is something we were talking about before we started the show. Mike Bloomberg is planning on running for president, not because this is how big of an opportunist this guy is. He's not running for president because he wants to be president. He's running for president because he thinks he can win the Democratic nomination. Now, he's not a Democrat. He's a fucking Republican. He ran in New York City as a Republican for what, 6 times? I think he's elected 4 times. He actually made a law.
I didn't know he ran again. A Republican?
He was a Republican. Yeah, he wasn't a Democrat.
Okay.
No, he's a Republican mayor of New York City. Now, he made a law in his last term, his 3rd term, which is supposed to be his last term. He made a law, it might have been his 2nd term, that he could run again. Like, this fucking guy. And this is the guy that when I was in New York when he was mayor, and this is the guy who basically, New York was like a nanny state. You had a complete crackdown on marijuana. Like, if you got caught with marijuana in New York City back then, you were going to jail. There wasn't a ticket.
Rikers Island was full of people that got caught with small.
You're getting your face put in the fucking pavement, dude. It was no joke. Like I can remember, this is back when I didn't really use marijuana back then, but it's back when I was drinking, and like when I'm drinking, I would use whatever, blah, blah, blah. And like people being really scared to go out and smoke a joint. I'm like, why? It's hot. Like they're like, dude, you realize that the penalty? This is the guy who ran the city during that. Yeah. This is also the guy who wanted to ban sodas that were bigger than 20 ounce. Like government is going to step into your life, and they're going to insist that you do all these things. And if you don't follow these things, we're going to arrest you for it. That's not the kind of United States that I want to live in. Well, I don't want to live in the United States where I have to worry about how big my soda is.
And it sounds crazy, but as I was watching the news before the rally, or it might have been when I couldn't sleep one night at the hotel, he had just made the announcement, and there was people advocating for him, young people, who were supposedly educated, and they were advocating for him based on his public health thing, that basically Americans need to thank him for being alive because he started the non-smoking in restaurants and public places thing, and he's given all this money to help with the nicotine vaping problems. And they talked about how it's a healthier place because of some fatty foods or fatty sugary drinks not being available anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's people that really feel like he saved us.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you got to remember, he was very popular in New York City, and it says he sounds like a Democrat. I'm telling you, he ran as a Republican. Yeah. He was a Republican. I want to say I'm like 99% sure he was a Republican mayor, because Giuliani was a Republican, and then he came in right after Giuliani left. And I have absolutely. I'll tell you what. I think it is every active social media vaping advocate's responsibility to ensure that Michael Bloomberg gets no traction on Twitter, on everything that he posts. He's got 17 different news agencies that Bloomberg this and Bloomberg that and Bloomberg this. The guy brands everything just like Trump does. Just so fucking annoying. But he's got all these news agencies, and it is our responsibility to get in there and fight it as best we can.
So apparently
I'm not saying I want Trump. I'm not saying I want anybody. I'm not saying who I want. Like I don't know who I want, but I'm just saying.
No, but you don't want him. He's come out against us in a single issue.
$150 million.
Yep, that's right. he's done with.
If he gets elected, it's gone. It's completely gone. It's back to cigarettes for 11 million Americans. And he'll be happy as hell because the guy is knee deep in fucking tobacco bonds. He's got all this money leveraged against us, against Americans. You know what I mean? And to him, a smoker, like most people in New York feel, if you're smoking, you're a fucking idiot. Well, that may be true. I may be stupid for smoking, but that doesn't mean I deserve a death sentence when there's a safer alternative.
So today there was an article, I believe it was in, I think the article, it may be West Virginia Gazette, either Charleston Gazette or West Virginia Gazette. It kind of says both, but West Virginia's annual payments from the MSA bonds dropped by more than $1.6 million because of the loss in cigarette sales.
That was West Virginia did?
Yep.
Oh man. That hurts that state.
Their MSA payment went from 61.2 million last year to 59.6 million this year.
And it's going to continue to drop.
Yep.
It's going to continue. It'll probably drop. Well, that with the you know, with the news that went around this year, it may level off a little bit, but once vaping starts getting a foothold and people understand it's a safer alternative, it's going to continue to drop.
The newspaper article says, in quotes, they're quoting a financial advisor, it was a steeper decline than originally anticipated. And then they go on to say, however, one factor that could slow the decline is that a number of localities and the federal government are looking at banning flavored e-cigarette pods, which are believed to be effective in enticing young people to take up vaping.
Of course.
The general sense is if these bans go into effect in a significant way, it could actually benefit combustible cigarettes.
Oh, there you go.
And make up for the financial difference.
Yeah. There's so many factors against vaping. And obviously the kid angle is like this golden halo that is put on these antis, when the real goal is to eliminate vaping and to put people back onto combustible cigarettes. That's the real goal here. Don't kid yourself and think it's not. That's the real goal, because you are more valuable to the state if you're smoking cigarettes than if you're vaping. You're much more valuable to them. So they want to keep that MSA money coming in. And that's why it's been termed blood money, because that's what it is. Your state, my state, has taken a bribe from big tobacco to continue to kill us. Yep. Plain and simple. That's what it is.
Exactly right.
And the money that was intended to be used for education to get people to quit smoking is not being used for that. It is being used for everything like that. So all these politicians who say they care about kids and they care about the kids smoking and blah, 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 they don't, because they're not putting that money where it was intended to be put. I think there's one state out of all of them who's doing it. It might be Texas, who's actually using the money as intended and putting it towards education. It's reducing the number of smokers. The rest of the states are not doing that. Michigan is not doing that. Ohio is not doing it. They're already in debt to these loans, to the money.
Yep.
We've already bonded it out.
Well, several of the speakers at the rally mentioned the blood money and what the real driver behind this thing is. And a lot of the speakers were basically talking direct to the president. It was great.
Can you give us like a synopsis of some of the things being said regarding that?
It stayed real basic. We know this isn't about the kids. It's about blood money. It's about bonds that were made based on money from combustible cigarettes that we've seen a sharp decline in that affects their bottom line.
I mean, it is absolutely true. Big G just put a link in there, and I hope Daniel. Have you heard Daniel Jones's video in the MSA? How good. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
really good. And hopefully, let me check if that's the link that he put in there. If it is, we need to continue to put that on here. Over. Yep, that's it. Okay, so let me go back here.
Yeah, CNN just did it. Dave mentioned it. CNN just did an article about featuring Danielle Jones, where they were talking about DIY liquid and what the flavor bans may bring.
I heard the article wasn't really that pro vaping though, ultimately,
Right.
which is
Of course
sad.
not. Yeah.
Because to have Danielle attached to anything that's not 100% pro truth is bullshit, because she is all about truth and she is a warrior for this industry.
And she saw that coming, but decided that it was the best thing to do to try to get the information out there.
Yeah, I played that video for my wife, and her like jaw dropped. She's like, I can't believe that. That's what I was like. That's why we're all so passionate about it. You know, quite frankly, and I think that all of us will concede this point. If they had legitimately found things that were wrong with vaping, if they had legitimately found things that were dangerous to us, we all would hold a different position. I would be like, I don't want anybody doing it. I'm doing it now just because I'm trying to do it. But using lies and manipulation because of money, because they want money from combustible cigarettes, that's something I cannot stand. That cannot stand. That is something that we have to fight against. And at the very least, we have to educate people to let them know that that is what the real reason is. And if they decide that they'd rather have the money from combustible cigarettes for their state, they admit that they don't mind killing their people of their state to continue to get money, that's on them. That's on them. But at least they need to be held accountable, and they need to know that's what it's about.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I don't know what we have time for. I know you have the giveaways and stuff. I have some pictures from the rally I can share.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to do Big G's giveaway today, and then later this week. I'm not doing a feature this week, guys. We will do Turbonut, which I have here as well. Maybe we'll do Turbos today and Big G's later, one of the two.
So
we'll
this
do one
is
today and one later.
This is where we gathered across the street from the rally, because we knew that it was held off. So this was just people starting to gather at the bottom of the Washington Monument while we waited for rally time. And this was real early, when we knew that all the buses and everything had been called off to wait because of the president flying out. And when we saw this many people there early, we were like, wow, this might actually be a good turnout. And the lady in the front right there was vaping maybe a Valhalla, a huge RDA. It just cracked me up because she wasn't very tall and had such a huge mod. That was when Marine One was flying in to go pick up the president.
That's before the buses showed up.
Yeah, that's when they were started. They had just basically taken off and lifted up before we held up our signs. And this was as they opened up the park. People across the street were going into the rally, and you can see the crosswalks are packed on both sides of the pictures.
Yeah, it looks like people going to a football game.
Yeah. And they blocked the street off for us, actually. And so these were just pictures of us crossing the street.
Wow.
That's sure one at the beginning. And so, hold on. This was in the park beforehand. When media was there, of course, we were holding up our signs and chanting.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, those were the shots that I thought were so cool, because it was just a stream of people walking across the street for what felt like forever, headed into the park. And that was standing in the park before it started, just trying to get some pictures of the crowd. And I was basically in the middle. So behind me was the people that you see, and then in front of me was the stage.
There's Irby. Right there, yeah.
This was from probably 2,000 feet away on the sidewalk, but I had zoomed in on the crowd. This was just one outside edge of the crowd. That was the White House behind us. That was a picture of the Stooges. And that was D-Bone actually supporting LSU in that picture. And he was our club charm. Yep.
It's hilarious.
Uh-oh. I lost you, Scott.
You lost?
Yeah.
You dropped there. You're back. I can see you now.
All right.
You might have frozen for a second. Does it look like it's lost connection? Hold on. Let's see. So
You're back now, kind of.
Let me see here. Did I lose the? Oh, it looks like it's whole. What in the world? Did I lose you? Am I back? Charlie, are you back?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. I don't know what that was. The funny thing is my stream is still green.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know what that was. Well, let's hurry up and do these. Let's do a giveaway real quick. Everybody in chat, we're going to do a giveaway real quick. This is going to be for coils from Mr. Big G. Big G coils. You're also going to receive, check out these. I have some am I blacked out? No. I have these little sample packs that Holy Fiber sent me. So I'm going to put 2 or 3 of these in there with it as well. You're also going to get a bottle of e-liquid from Shy Tots with no nicotine in it. There's no nicotine, so it is just food flavoring for you to put on your food. I need a number between 1 and 150. Go. About chat. There we go. I'm lagging big time. I'm watching it here, and it is lagging big time. I don't know if I need to call my cable company because I have like the updated. I thought I had the upgraded everything, and it doesn't look like it's doing it. All right, here we go.
Oh, Patrick King's here. He was there.
Patrick King, what's up, dude? Good to see everybody showing out today. Get some coils and some, and then I think later this week we'll do the other giveaway from Turbo, which I have right here. I've got to go through and pull out all the Big Juice coils because I think some of them I've already vaped, but I will find them. All right, 1 to 150. Keep them coming, guys. Fantastic. Here they come. Get out of top chat. There's Jane. Hey, Jane. How you doing, hon? We have it is raining ice outside right now here.
Really?
Pouring ice. Yeah.
I've got the AC running because it's hot here.
Is it hot? It's ridiculous here.
I'll
bring it iced in tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to leave my house to go to work, which sucks because I don't want to stay home. I'd rather go to work. All right. And mine. Oh, and a $25 gift certificate to Shy Tots. We'll do that next. We will do that next. All right, I'm going to hit stop, and I'm going to pull a number. Thank you for reminding me, Miss Jane. All right, here we go. Random number generator. Need a number between 1 and 150. First number, 119. Second number's 135. And the winner is 144 is our number. Closest to the number without going over is going to be our winner. 144. I got a 76 is leading. 136, Daytime Frank. 136, 136, 136. Frank, I think you won, buddy. Does anybody see anything else in there? 136. 136 is our winner. Congratulations, Frank. Frank, I need your address. Message me your address. Send me like $3.50, $4 for shipping. I will get it out to you on Friday, sir. Congratulations, man. Now, our second giveaway is for somebody said reset the router. I will reset the router after this. I did it the other day and it helped, but I will reset the router. Absolutely. The second giveaway is going to be for a $25 gift certificate to the most luscious e-liquid on the face of this earth. I have a plethora that I'm using. I have L'Amour, Decadence, and the one and only Mont Blanc right here. You're going to win a $25 gift certificate to some Shy Tots e-liquid. I need a number between 1 and 150. Go. You're welcome, Frank. Congratulations, buddy. I was the furthest away, said Cheech. You should get some. You should get a consolation prize for that, Cheech. Really?
Yep.
Scott took my virginity. Frank, or Patrick, I took your virginity so nicely. So nicely. I played Cards with Humanity. Have you played that yet?
Yes.
You have played that. I played
Isn't
that.
that a drinking game?
No, it's a card game. I don't drink, so I couldn't play it if it's a drinking game.
That's what I was wondering about.
It's basically you pick somebody reads a saying off and then you give a card and the card they pick is the one that wins. I did pretty good. There's some funny shit in there. One of the cards I had said the sounds of Pac-Man cum guzzling cum. I was like, that's pretty fucking funny. I won with that.
Yeah, that should be like one of your Patreon only streams.
Yeah, playing Cards Against Humanity. It really should be. Really should be. All right, keep the numbers coming, guys. Yeah, Bull. I'm gonna do those. I'm not doing them this time. I got turbos right here, Bull. But I'm not doing those this time. I'm gonna do them next time. Just so we have another giveaway. Maybe I'll do these for like the Friday show. Because I'm not doing a builder this week. So these are Turbo sent me a lot. I have a lot of coils from Turbo.
I'm going to be traveling Friday, so I may have something special for the show. It's going to be dependent on my connection, though, is the only problem. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out.
We'll give it a shot. We will give it a shot. All right, stop. All right. First number is, let me open this up. I had to put a code on my phone, which I fucking hate. 75. Second number is 13. And the winning number is 88. Drew Pearson, 88. All right, let's scroll up here and see who won. I got an 82 from Faceless. 82, 89. Damn, one over. 87, Cal's Irons, 87. Congratulations, Cal's. You are the winner, sir. Congratulations, Cal's. You are the winner of some luscious e-liquid $25 gift certificate. All right, before we get out of here, is there anybody have any questions or anything I did not cover asking Charlie about the rally?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, fire away.
So, Big G is Frank.
Shout out to Stephen Garlington. He was there at the rally. We haven't heard from him, though, since he got home. He's been missing in action.
Who's that?
Stephen Garlington.
No, he was posted on Facebook today.
Did he?
Yeah.
What time do you know?
I thought he did.
I don't know. He posted yesterday or this morning. Hopefully he's just taking a nap. So Stephen, if you hear this, and just let me know if you're okay. Hopefully you're just deciding not to answer our calls and you're okay.
If you are, I just saw Grady say something about fiber. If you are in the Patreon, I put up a deal for Holy Fiber. I have 10 bags. 10 bags is all I have left before I put another order in. So 10 bags. I can't probably do 2. We'll see how many people put in tonight. I'll look and see how many people want it, and then I'll just divide them up. Because some people wanted like 10 bags themselves because they've tried it and they love it. And they're like, I want as much of it as I can get.
Yeah.
I do have the sample bags. I mean, I could throw those in there, but I'm not going to charge for those because those are free. So I'm not going to, I mean, I can.
You should send me some of those.
Some of the samples. You want some?
Yeah.
I can. They're like one strand. Like these one strand of Holy Fiber can literally get you like probably half a dozen wicks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's thick, dude. It's a thick strand like that big. And literally cut that. And you could do like, you could wick 4 coils with like one cut. It's really, really thick. And it doesn't break down like regular cotton. So you really don't have to use that much. I've been vaping this single coil and I'm like using no cotton at all. How much wood could a woodchuck have? What's up, Michelle? Miss Dull Dime? How are you, hon? Good to see you. What type of talks is Trumpy Boy wanting to have, you think? More importantly, who's representing vaping? We don't know yet. I think with Trump, I think
It's always a wild card. We could have a
can't.
plan today and wouldn't know what would happen tomorrow. So
I think I think the one thing with Trump is he's consistently inconsistent. I think that's something that, and you don't know exactly what he's going to say or do. And I think Melinda, is that her name?
Melania.
Okay, Melania. I think Melania is certainly against us. But I think he's recognized that there may be more on the table here than just cutting flavors, that if he does that, there may be some repercussions in November. I hope he feels that way, because that's the truth. If he does do that, there could be some serious repercussions come November. It would be a lot of pissed off people.
We'll see. There was some funny speculation on Facebook about what the conversation was between Donald and Melania as they flew over all the pissed off vapors on the ground.
Yeah, about saving jobs. Yeah. Dave Flower says, my coil's gunk, but holy fiber. Yeah, it does. Holy fiber does not break down. So the one great thing about that, and the thing that I really, really like, is I know I'm not taking any into my lungs, because when you look at cotton, and cotton is starting to distort and change and break down, where's that going? It's going in your lungs. So if the fiber's not breaking down at all, because the temperature that you can use this holy fiber up is like 3 times higher than cotton. It's not breaking down. So there's none going into your lungs, which is very, very important to me. I don't want that shit going in my lungs.
What's up, Dermot?
Dermot Dillon, what's up, dude? Good to see you, brother. All right, what time is it? We got 4 more minutes. Yeah, I hope they'd rather talk than just stomping. I don't think they're going to stomp us out. I think that the wording that he used today on Twitter pretty much assures us that he's not going to stomp us out.
I don't know. I feel like they're still filling us out, engaging us. I think it's as important or more important now to keep the fight up, just like we have to keep the pressure on until we get an announcement due to the inconsistencies we've seen in the past. So just everybody keep fighting.
She said Sin had 88. Did I miss Sin? I don't see Sin. Ha, I see Sin say ha ha ha. I don't see Sin having 88. Maybe I didn't missed it. Do you see it?
Let me check it.
I mean, my connection's been bad. I could have missed it. Did she have 88 in the last one, maybe? I'm double checking. I don't see it, Jane. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it in there. 98. Okay, 98. All right, well.
Wait, hold on. I see where she says.
I see. Do you see where it says ha 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 or something like that in there? But I don't see anything after that. Shit, I hope I'm not missing. Holy Fiber does rock. Holy Fiber, I'm telling you guys, it's the best. It is. It actually is the only cotton I've ever used that improved my vape. Noticeably improved it. That I'm like, wow. From the get, there's no like break-in time. There's no cotton taste. Nothing like that. It is. You put it in and it's ready to go. And the first vape you take off it is fucking phenomenal. I mean, believe me. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine. If you do try it, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And I've got to talk to the guy and see if I can get another case of it for you guys. But yeah, I'm down to 10 bags. And then I have my personal stash, which is like 2 bags. One open, one's already open now. But I have the samples now, so I feel a little better. I won't run out.
Yeah, I don't see
Hey, New Wave Dave. Good to see you, man. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Charlie, any last words? Any anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Just keep up the fight, guys. Keep tuning in. I'll keep you guys updated as much as possible. We've made a huge impact. Things went over as well as could be expected with the rally this past weekend. So if you guys could just keep up the fight, keep on Twitter, keep on Facebook, whatever you're doing, keep it up, and let's keep the pressure on their throats. And that's it. Take it away, Scott.
Yeah, I want to echo that, and I want to say I've never been more proud to be a part of anything in my life than I was this weekend. I wasn't there. I really wish I was. I regret not going. I really, really do. A huge thank you to the Legion Commander for organizing everything. You gentlemen are, I'm so glad to be in a community where you're here. And Matt, and, in our state, we have James Jarvis, who's just the man. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hear stuff going on in Ohio, and I'm like, James, I know James is on that, and it's like I'm
yeah.
so happy to have he's in Ohio. Greg Conley, the rest of the people that spoke, Matt, I mentioned Matt, but also to all the YouTube guys who got off their ass and went. And thank you so much to them. Thank you to everybody else who went and showed up and floated their bill to go. I mean, it blows me away, and just really thankful to be a part of that and to know you guys. You guys are awesome.
And for one real quick, for everybody that made donations that could or couldn't be there, but you made donations, things went off just flawlessly with the stage and all the equipment and security and everything. So thank you guys for making it happen from home too.
You're asking what cotton that is. Holy fiber. All right, guys, we are getting out of here. Well, I don't know when my next show will be. I don't really know. It just depends. I don't have a review this week. I may do a recovery show this week. I think that would probably be the thing I want to do. I don't have a feature this week, so that's kind of out the window. I have a bunch of stuff to review that I haven't looked at. So it'd be kind of unfair to review something without taking my time and like actually using it and figuring out if I like it or not. So I may wait till next week to do that. But we'll definitely be back on Friday to talk more about some advocacy, and hopefully I'll have to get a guest this week, Charlie. What do you think?
Oh yeah, and I do have a guest that's probably going to be on one day this week. I'll talk to you after the show.
Oh Lord! So we're gonna have another show.
We may have a surprise pop-up show with a special guest. So we're trying to make it as convenient for him as we can.
Sounds great. Thanks everybody for watching. We will see you very, very soon tonight on the YouTube. You got some fantastic shows. You got Vaping with the Homies. You got Windy Vapes. You got Mountaineer Vapes is on tonight. I don't know if Nick's on tonight. Don't think he is. Is there anybody else I'm missing?
I think that's the Fagan FAQ. If they
Fagan FAQ, yeah, the Fagan FAQ probably is on right after this. Around.
And yeah, you mentioned Mountaineer and Phoenix. I think that's all I know of.
And Windy. All right, guys, you guys be good. We will see you later this week. Keep fighting. Keep up the good.